Hello, this is Jay here. We got a special today. This came in from Faces in the Stone. He was kind enough to send over a package, and this is one of the pieces that was in there that I wanted to go over briefly with you guys. Just some of the main images in this piece that I've noticed so far. And let's start off with this in the red here, highlighted with black embellishments for the features. We can see a Paleolithic horse. This being his nose down here, his mouth, and this being his eye, and his ear coming up like this. It's a very beautiful, basically cave painting on a crystal. It's a very thick glaze. As you can see the texture of it, that it is applied heavily in this red and black area. And under magnification, the red appears to be made out of a red jasper, and the black appears to be a hardened form of like like an oil, or like what's it called, like a pitch that is kind of petrified on there. That's black. And we've got yellows. You can see yellow. You can see oranges and more blacks. As I turn the piece in different positions, you'll see other colors. So there's a couple of faces lined up in here as well. There's a white one coming down and there's a yellow one coming down. This makes a profile image of what looks like to be an old type of human. And then when we look up, looking up, you can see an eye, and nose, and mouth here to what looks like a more anatomically correct human. This looks like an older species, but you can see the lips, in between the lips, with this like goldish, greenish kind of sediment, like cement that they put in there, and other places as well, to highlight certain different features. And the way they blended these colors is just so amazing. I can tell a lot of them were fired or heated up all at once, because they like bleed into each other. And I do think this is of an older style artifact. Um, like I'm not really seeing certain images in certain locations that I usually see on these type of story stones. Like almost like this is like the proto version of the story stones. This is how they kind of started, like, okay, well, we know how to paint on walls, I don't know, let's try to paint in the 3D form. I think this is kind of like one of the missing links, almost, you can kind of say. We can see the man and his nose better over here. His hair coming down like this, red hair, his eye in here. On this side possibly as well. These ones aren't exactly as clear as some of the other ones. Like I said, these are older. I think these are an older version. So it's really kind of like when they were, I think when these people were first kind of getting into it and figuring out what they could get away with on these stones. Because there's so many other positions where they could have made other things that kind of aren't there. Although there are many things in the stone, like on this side here, with all the beautiful different colors, you can see really in that spot there how they kind of blend together, which kind of gives away that this was painted on there like all at once and kind of heated up all at once on there in some areas, like right in here especially. And then they did figure out this though, that they weren't done with their art after they fired it, because they did chip out this and they did chip out that, and those were not breaks from later on. Those do line up with the art that is on the stone. It makes a face like this, facing right. So those breaks are intentional, and they are after it's been fired, because we can see there is no color there where it should have bled over. That's where it was broken off of the crystal. So they did understand processes, which is very interesting. Flip this over from this side. This may be a cheek. This may be the head and the eye up here. This might be some sort of llama or bird. This might be a backwards facing bird up here. With the beak over here and the eye over here. This could be another animal, like I'm seeing a bear right now. The eye and his nose right there. You see the bear facing left. And this is what I believe is to be the handle of the piece. You would hold it like this, and this is the crushing end or smashing end. But it wasn't used a lot. Probably hardly at all. This was probably a ceremonial piece that was only used once for one ritual. Possibly a couple of rituals, but very particular rituals. This is not finely ground down at the business end. So you might be able to see some other pieces along the sides here. Like I said, this is an older style, so more imaginative, more what you would think pareidolia, but I think pareidolia is how they learned how to do a lot of this stuff. I think that's a very important part of the art, is them understanding pareidolia as well as symmetry. This bird here in the red and his beak right here is amazing. This is his eye right there. That's a cardinal, or something similar to a cardinal, maybe a parrot. That's done very well, and that's in the horse's head when you position it in this direction. And it also lines up with the face, that lines up with another bird